I'm doing well. Everyday life is normal. When I do my workouts with a physical therapist, we've switched them up a little bit now onto a balance type of pad, and it helps with creating core strength. And then I still have my movements that I have to do, and it's fatiguing. And I notice things that bring me up and then break me down, and I have to do a day on and a day off now. Where I was pushing 7 days a week, trying to get back to the car. And then, in all honesty, I took December off. It was an emotional time, and that's part of this process as well. And so I'm doing well. I've got a great consulting role with 2311 and the race team, brand ambassadorship with Monster Energy. We've been together 12 years now and still having a ton of fun. And then with Toyota, and I'm blending in with their racing family. They got to see another side of a Busch that they hadn't seen before. And so it's nice to be hanging out with them.
Let me ask you one thing about the race. Since you won, it seemed like the last 10 laps have been about wrecks and avoiding wrecks, et cetera. Do you see a strategy that will work over the last 5 or 10 laps, or is it just all circumstantial?
For my race, the year that I won in 2017, it ended up being a long fuel run to the end. One of those classic 50-lap duels of guys conserving fuel, positioning themselves to be up front and to lead. Tony Gibson, my crew chief at the time, said we're good for 48 laps, but not 50. I need you to save me 2 laps of fuel. So I had zero intention of leading any of those laps other than the last one. And guys started running out of fuel. Logano ran out of fuel, Truex, Chase Elliott, a lot of top guys. And then right at the end, when I made a move on Larson, his car sputtered. And then Blaney's coming out of nowhere, chasing me down. That was one of the last, I think, like true runs at the end. And now, it is circumstantial, but you have to get in position to be in that position to win. And Bubba Wallace has done a great job of doing that and being in contention. Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, you can see the ones that put the patterns together to position themselves for it. And then you have to have Lady Luck on your side.
Going to go to Jacob and then Greg.
Jacob Seelman, 77 Sports Media, kickingthetires.net. Kurt, it's good to see you here and smiling, I think. I know, I have no doubt there's a part of you that would just as badly, want to be out there, be back behind the wheel. But is it a different kind of rewarding, as you mentioned, your consulting role with 2311, to see somebody like Travis, who I know you've given a lot of advice to this week, make the show, to see what Bubba and Tyler, may have the potential to do on Sunday, and know that even if you're not out there on track with them, you're still able to play a big role in this team?
Yeah, everything just happened a year sooner than I expected it to. And I'm happy with where everything sits. And, even like Ty Gibbs, with him jumping in the Monster Energy car last year and getting him up to speed in the Cup Series, Monster Energy always told me, put your arm around him. He's going to be that one for us later on. And so just with things being fast forwarded, I'm fine with it. And now it's the second week, with being here at track, Daytona. We did the Coliseum last week. There isn't a question now of where my role is. It's everywhere within the team, and doing different interviews with the race team and our other sponsors. It's like I'm doing everything the same, except not putting the helmet on. I'm putting a radio on for practice, qualifying, and the race.
Going to go to Greg and then Jordan on the far left.
Greg Engel, Forbes. Jacob kind of, because he's better than me, stole my question. But how is it, that consulting role? I mean, yes, it's new to you right now. And obviously, if we're talking in back here in August, you may have a different view. But what's it like to be able to impart all the knowledge and experience you have to other young drivers, and even like the competition people on the team? What's it like to be able to be in that position? It must feel pretty good.
There was a moment last night with Tyler Reddick trying to sort out how he was going to learn how to draft with Denny Hamlin, who's his boss. And I saw it. I'm like, I went through that in this race last year. And so our debrief right after the race, it's the thing that I did with Bubba last year. It's to advance quicker and to advance smarter and to apply the right things to make sure 2311 is going in the right direction. I mean, I'm not doing it by myself. I'm just an extra set of eyes, set of ears, and I'm pretending though sometimes that I have the blinders on and that I'm driving the car. And so I think you can see with Bubba's maturity level last year from the second half, other than Vegas when he screwed up, but I mean, the way that he took control and had good average finishes last year, his average finishes in the second half were better than the average finishes I had in the first half. And we put a car in the top 10 in points in its first season. You know, those are things that happened when I was at Furniture Row and how they advanced. That's just what I hope to do with this, and to have Tyler Reddick on the gas and digging hard and adding to his 3 wins that he got last year.
Go to Jordan, Dan, and then Alex.
Jordan Bianchi, The Athletic. Kind of following up on some of what you said. What did you see out of Reddick and Wallace last night in their duels, in areas where they're really good and areas maybe they can work on for Sunday?
With Bubba, he had that confidence and that swagger that I knew he would have. The car doesn't have a scratch on it, and the way that their pitch strategy unfolded, again, a lot of it is that on and off pit road. And the gas man miscommunicated his head nod to the jack man, and so they lost a couple seconds in the pits, and that's where Booty Barker and I kind of saw that. We got with the pit stop coach, and we hope that that's not an issue, you know, as we go forward. But Bubba was smart. He had a chance to go for it at the end, and again, it's a duel, and you got to get that car to the 500. With Reddick, you know, he was trying to draft with Denny a few times and wasn't as aggressive as he needed to be. And that's just that first day type of jitter. And he was fine on and off pit road. The 45 guys have been really good with their pit stops. And so, again, it's just trying to find those last few things that will make a big difference on Sunday.
Go to Dan, Alex, and then Claire.
Thanks. Dan Gelston, The Associated Press. I have a few questions. Kurt, first of all, do your doctors believe that you will be cleared or you can be cleared? And if so, have they given you a timeline?
They believe it. I believe it. I just know it from right here that I'm not 100% to race with these guys, the best of the best here at this level. You know, could I go do a SCCA club race next week? It's probably not wise. Go-karting has been fine for me. You know, the simulator has been fine. It's just when I have my head in the headrest and there's that movement, that bothers me. And then with the progress that I've made, progress since August, yes. I believe there will be a full recovery, and the new physical therapy I'm on is another challenge, and a lot of it is with the balance and eye movement.
If you could get cleared, do you have races? Do you see yourself getting back into a Cup car? Do you see other series? Do you think the Cup career is definitely out? Do you see other series you'd want to try and run?
Well, that's the thing, is life moves forward. Contracts happen. This is a big-time sport. You know, there's 8 figures in sponsorship money. Those just don't fall out of the sky. I've got a great relationship with Monster Energy and with Toyota. That's why you see me here at track, pushing hard and doing everything the same as I would be if I was racing. And there's a big announcement next week with Tyler Reddick at the Monster Energy headquarters. There's going to be a video today with Ty Gibbs. There's a lot of fun stuff going on. And so once there's that green light, then there's the chance to open up the door for discussions. So it's a process. Can't push one before another.
And last one. You mentioned December was emotional. How have you processed the fact that your career likely didn't end on your terms?
I'm fine with the way that everything's gone. You know, the way that you know from right in here about how you push for a championship. I told Denny I had one good year in me, and I signed a 2-year deal. And this would have been kind of that swan song Kevin Harvick retirement tour, and I'm glad he's going to have that opportunity. For me, I've always been that, believe it or not, just the shyer guy, the humble guy that I just like to go and race cars, and we'll see where things pan out. You know, whether it was my decision or somebody from up above, it doesn't matter to me. I'm very happy. I'm complacent. And to have had this opportunity to race in this sport for 23 years and to hit all of the high notes and the low notes, I wouldn't trade it for a thing. I mean, it's a Hollywood ending going for pole on your last lap ever, right? So I'm smiling about it, and I'm happy with it.
Gonna go to Alex, right in front of you, Alex.
Hey Kurt, Alex Zetlow of the Charlotte Observer. I'm curious on your perspective. Do you think NASCAR is going through a youth moment? And if so, if you think so, does that excite you? How do you view that?
Yeah, I mean, there's always a changing of the guard or a cycle that happens, and whether it's one or two guys or girls here or there, or it's a group of them. Yes, I was just thinking about that this morning, as a matter of fact. I mean, with myself, with Harvick, you know, we're a class of 2001. You know, class of 2002 is Jimmy Johnson and Ryan Newman. 03, I think, was Biff. 04, I think, was Casey Kane. 05 was my little brother. Like, that was, Kyle Busch will be the elder statesman here pretty soon. It's pretty wild to think about. You know, and Denny Hamlin was 06. And so it's just part of time and how it catches up with you. And sometimes it's a surprise and sometimes it's not. But there's great young leaders that are part of our sport right now with Chase Elliott, Blaney, Bubba. You know, Noah Gragson has yet to really get his foot like stably put down, but I think he can be a superstar in this sport too. And he's just a passionate kid from Vegas. That reminds me a lot of myself.
Come to the right to Claire, and then we'll go to Lewis.
Claire Belang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Kurt, why come back in a sense? Does it make you, when you are evaluating all this, is it a goal to like be able to do that and then say you accomplished it, which is really valid and makes a lot of sense? Has it made you think more what you would do after as you do get older when you are not racing at all? What's the whole motivation for it? I mean, I think I understand, but is it like, this is so hard to do, I'm going to show I can do it? And does it make you think more seriously about what you want to do down the road? Own a team, do so many things you could be doing.
I'm doing exactly what I want to do. I don't want to own a race team. I was getting a little older, and I wasn't going to drive full time. And I have an unofficial PhD in the garage to give back to young engineers, young crew members. And you know, just like yesterday on pit road, this one young engineer, last year is his first ever NASCAR race. He didn't do any Truck Series stuff, no Xfinity things, and he's standing around pit road, deer in the headlights. And this year he comes up to me, he goes, dude, I have so much that I have to thank you for, because I know exactly where I need to be. I know exactly what I need to do. And I think this kid will be a crew chief one day. And I told him that last year. I said, but you got a long way to go, kid. But just to see his growth in 365 days, that's kind of where I thought I would be in this point in my career as well.
Go to Lewis.
Hey, Kurt. Louis Frank of Reuters. You've touched on many important points before. People stole my question. So if you're watching a race on TV, do you ever get the urge to air steer the car, slam on the brakes, cuss another driver, kick your flat screen?
I've seen enough from the driver's seat. I'm good. I'm like, oh, yeah, he's going to do that stupid stuff again. Honestly, though, I've got like 3 channels of communication with the race team. So I'm live on a chat board with our race control at 2311. There's the engineering group that's going through pitch strategy. And then, yeah, I'm scanning in on the driver and on the spotter. You know, it's funny. You still see the tendencies of certain drivers, and that's again what I'm trying to teach Bubba and Tyler and little Ty on. Each person has their own, you know, individual driving style, and there's some that you know you can trust, and there's some that you have to be touch and go with.
We're going to go to Jonathan to wrap it up.
Jonathan Viel, the racing experts. Kurt, I guess, like, you know, coming to the track as, you know, on the pit box compared to being a driver, how's it been this weekend?
It's really tough to get around. I don't know what. I thought people, you know, like wouldn't recognize me without my driver's suit on. I have to leave. I literally have to leave like 20 minutes before I'm going to do anything because the fans are awesome. We're signing diecast still, signing hats, and I didn't expect that. That's one fun part of it that I should have understood. And it's really neat, though, just to be able to have my role with the team, but also still be that guy that can sign an autograph for a race fan that watched me throughout my career.
Well, Kurt, thanks for joining us today. We're looking forward to seeing you give the command on Sunday.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.